Hello everybody and welcome to the 712Breaks Cup Series race at Talladega Superspeedway tonight. It is week 10, regular season finale. Drivers trying to get into the chase. All right, tonight we're going to go around this 2.65 mile super speedway, no lifts, cars on a restrictor plate or whatever they call them now, tapered spacers. 50 cars out here tonight. Let me make sure I update everybody. All right, drivers coming out for their first lap. I have 6 drivers going home at the end of qualifying. So these guys are going to have to be on their A game for this qualifying run. Nolan Walker going to be one of our first ones out. Also want to thank my dad, Dave Hoitzma, for sponsoring tonight's race for the Talladega 200. Drivers have 2 laps to put in for qualifying. You're going to start seeing times come in very shortly. Top 44 make the race. Chartered drivers are locked in no matter what. So these open drivers, the bottom 6 of those open drivers tonight are going to miss the race. Nolan Walker, one of those open drivers. His lap going to put him 53.33, top of the board right now. One of our greatest super speedway racers we've ever had in CTC and SRL right here. Trenton Sneed coming out. Gonna run a 2-lap qualifying, it looks like. He's put it on the pole in these cars before, or at least the front row, several times. He's done it across multiple different cars. It doesn't matter. Trenton Sneed at a super speedway got speed. I swear, he's cheating somehow. The speed he has at these places, it's unreal. Motors down the backstretch. DG Swiss, top of the board right now, 53.31. Victor Lugo, as I say that, 53.29. Patrick O'Keefe pops into third. Hayden Lowell up to second, ties Lugo's lap. Ronnie Holmes up to third. Trenton Sneed crossed the line to complete his second lap. And that is going to be 13th. So, some of this next-gen BS might have got him this time. Still a pretty good lap for that 81. Should be in the show, I would think. But not going to be up there where I normally would see him in a super speedway qualifying. I think that 2-lap qualifying kind of caught him off guard. That is my screw-up. Had some weather coming through, and I was actually notified that it was 2-lap, but didn't remember to do it. So, that one's on me. Blake Giglio, 50 seconds left. should have time to put this lap in. It's going to be close. Victor Lugo still at the top of the board. That'd be his first pole position this season, maybe if not ever. Cup Series. Bring up stats right now. We'll verify that before I say it. Yes, so if that holds... Oh, and I look away and it doesn't. Michael Christopher to the top of the board. There's a super speedway qualifier. Blake just misses getting to the line, so he's going to start dead last. And we will take a moment to verify who is going to be in the race. We will be right back, so stay with us. Back momentarily. All right, welcome back, everybody. After we got that sorted out. My goodness, I'm so sick of doing that. Okay, starting grid up on the screen. We're gonna go through that really quick. Alright, let's go through our starting grid. Michael Christopher on the pole, Victor Lugo second, Hayden Lowell third, Bradley Wilson in fourth, Ronnie Holmes fifth, Davis Greenwell in sixth, E.G. Swiss in seventh, Howell Owen eighth, Samuel Litchfield ninth, Harry Grindell in 10th, Garrett Wolfenbarger in 11th, Alec Kane in 12th, Patrick O'Keefe 13th, Nolan Walker 14th, Jamal Collins 15th, Jacob Boyd 16th, Dalton Hayes 17th, Zach Swicegood 18th, Christian Delgado 19th, and Trenton Snead rounding out our top 20. We're just going to get ready on the grid. And out our ULs. Oh my goodness, I was muted. This has just been a horrible night, man. Just love talking to myself. So sick of doing this. Michael Christopher out front. Patrick O'Keefe leading the second lane. Michael Christopher, he's led the first 3 laps so far. Outside lane's trying to generate some steam. Like we got Ethan Evers fell off the main pack. Zach Swicegood started from the pits. He's off the main pack. Victor Lugo, after taking the drive-through at the start of the race, he got a black flag on the initial start. I think it was a restart violation. So he had to take a drive-through. He is in danger of going 1 lap down. So far, all 44 cars are still in the lead lap, however. Outside lane's got some steam. They're actually going to pull out in front on the backstretch. Victor Lugo leading that strong outside lane, and they're dead even at the start of the tri-oval. Now a third lane starting to form, led by Dave Hoitzman, Blake Giglio. Seen this at the Talladega race last season. They were three wide for multiple laps straight, and it seemed to work for all 3 lanes. It's not something you normally want to do in these next-gen cars, especially at somewhere like Daytona. In Talladega, the cars are spread out enough you can make that third lane work without side-drafting yourself too much. And they're actually going to pull ahead now. That third lane really strong at the moment. Like O'Keefe, oh, they're fixing to go 4 wide if things don't straighten out here. 22 and 92 go up to the top. Now the 56 and 32 are lined up on the bottom. 97 going to go to the top side of the 22. They're going to lose some steam there, though. The 22, 92 are working really well together. 92 is going to go up the block, leaves the 22 and Michael Christopher all alone in the middle. Down in the sucker hole. The 20 and Davis Greenwald, you can't even read the 20 on that car. Got the Copenhagen car back out. Different style this time around, but he won there last season. That Copenhagen smile number 20, so he's looking to make that magic happen again. Once again, on the outside looking into the chase, he's going to need a win if he wants any chance this time around at getting into the playoffs. Lowell still out front. Now Dave Hoitzman, Blake Giglio trying to make that push on the outside. There's your point standings heading into this race. Garrett Wolfenbarger well out front. He was locked in 3 races ago. that cut line, that's what you're looking at. Nick Leo, Dakota Lee, Kenny Frisbee, Brad Patton, those guys all trying to point their way into the chase. Davis Greenwell, I think, is around 16th right now, so he's going to need a lot to go his way today. That's just one of many drivers trying to make Talladega a way to turn around their season. Right now, the first driver out of the chase, Nick Leo, riding in 33rd, just kind of biding his time, making sure he stays out of trouble. Take a look, find Dakota Lee. He's also doing the same strategy, just single file on the bottom. Kenny Frisbee, another driver, he's in 15th in the standings. He's up there in that top lane, just kind of riding it out. So all those guys kind of riding around in the back, making sure they stay out of trouble early in this race. I appreciate it, avid race fan. It's you are really not wrong. Oh man. I need to find somebody else to do this for me. Hayden Lowell still up front. Dave Hoytsma still leading that outside lane with help from Blake Giglio, so not much has changed in the last 5 or so laps. Pit runs tonight, they could probably go around 30 laps on a tank of fuel. Again, it's going to be a little bit more if they're kind of sitting in pack saving gas. It'll probably be a lap or 2 less if they're riding out front like Hayden is right now. And didn't mention it when it happened, but Victor Lugo did go 1 lap down, and he actually did not maintain the pack, so he's actually lost the main pack, 1 lap down. He's really hoping for a caution sometime soon because Zach Weisgood and Ethan Evers are about to go a lap down and take away that lucky dog position. You can see the field in the background right there. These two are in danger of going a lap down. But the way the leaders are going right now, they're just too wide, kind of doing what they do in real life, probably saving a little gas, because they're going to be right on the edge of a fuel run. 75 lap race, you can make around 30 laps on fuel. That opens the door for maybe saving an extra 2 or 3 and splitting this race in half. So you're probably seeing some fuel saving right now. I think that's why we're seeing just kind of too wide, sitting in line, not doing much, because these guys are saving fuel behind the leaders. And obviously the leaders are going to hold on to this track position. They're not going to want to sit there and save fuel. Something I never got about the real life tough guys. They'll go 3 and 4 wide to save gas and then cause a wreck and be in it because they were saving gas, and I just never did it. Just to save a second of hit time. Hayden Lowell, go up and put the 8 and the 40 1 lap down. That will leave 41 cars on the lead lap. Jeremy Scherer, next car in danger of going a lap down. He's still about 20 seconds ahead of the leaders, so he's got time. But he's by himself, so going to close up quick. They've actually gone 3 wide now, as those lap cars get mixed in with the pack. That's going to shuffle out the 57, it looks like. 57 and the 94, stuck in the 3rd lane. Right on board with somebody deep in this pack, kind of get a feel for these checkups and everything that goes on in a 40-car pack. On board with 83 of Dakota Lee. Third lane forming again. Everybody's being pretty cordial right now. Not a lot of huge checkups. That bodes well for this going green for a while. I don't want to say that and then we get a massive wreck. I'm trying not to jinx it, but everybody seems to be being fairly patient right now. They're not sticking their nose where it shouldn't go. However, to say that, the 8 of Evers is now leading the outside lane, and he's going to try to get his lap back the old-fashioned way, or at least stay ahead of the 40, who's in the lucky dog position. 97 now is going to leave him out in the middle. Not much fun pushing a lap car. I think the 16 would have rather pushed the 97 as well, so I think that's why you're going to see the 8 get shuffled out there. Those two being teammates with another teammate, 2 more teammates behind. So you got 4 teammates lined up. Not sure if they're teammates in team points. However, they're all friends. So they're going to work together in some capacity, especially early on in this race. You're going to see a lot of those team affiliations disappear as this race concludes, especially when the white flag flies. Nobody's really going to care who's their teammate or who's their friend. You want to win the race. Especially in a cutoff race like tonight, every single point you get matters. And winning the race gives you your best shot to get into the chase. And leading laps. 97 going to try to get up front, lead a lap, get an extra 5 bonus points. Now I don't think he's in contention to get into the chase. However, there's still a big fight for that 13th spot at the end of the season. So every point matters, and just doing well in the race matters as well. And now that 97 finds himself leading the inside lane, that's right where you want to be if you want to stay safe. A lot of guys will drop to the back and keep themselves out of trouble. You can see, oh no! Cars around in the background. Who was it? I don't even know what car that was. I think it was the 10 of Wyatt McCombs. I'm gonna back it up, see what happened here. I think everybody saved it. Checkup, as I was talking about, checkup right there. 77 goes low, 10 kind of goes off his nose, 10 still sideways, and finally ends up saving it. So, really good job there by the 10 of Wyatt McCombs, making sure he doesn't wreck that race car, and a good job to everybody around him not getting into that race car. And there is the 91 Jeremy Scherer. He's going to go 1 lap down. And now he's going to have to fight with the 40 and the 8 to be in the lucky dog position if the yellow comes out. Right back in with our leaders. Michael Christopher finds himself back out in front of this race. Blake Giglio, for the first time, is leading a line, I think. Dave Hoytsma second in line on the inside lane. Here's our race stats so far. 4 different leaders, 3 lead changes. Obviously no cautions yet. Sub 50-second average lap time, which is very fast for Talladega. So that's because we haven't had a caution yet, but we're going to take it where we can get it. Oh, the 22. Out of shape right there. Good pushes from the 41 of Jacob Boyd Jr. That ARD paint scheme, I keep thinking that's Patrick O'Keefe, but that is the 41 of Jacob Boyd. Patrick right now, he's running in the 17th spot, no 16th. Beautiful blue 92. Always good paints out of that 92 crew. Davis Greenwell surges to the front with pushes from the 51 of Bradley Wilson. They're two-car tandeming away from the rest of the field. Out of nowhere, they go up to the third lane, drive past everybody, and now they're leaving them in the dust. Off the back bumper of the 51 here, and you're going to see, as the 51 overheats, he's going to have to back off of the 20, and that is going to give a huge run of the rest of the field, and here they come. That's going to force the 16 to lift. They are pretty wide, about 4 cars deep. Oh, the 24! Sideways off the nose of the 18 at Kenny Frisbee. Now they're going to be side by side as the top 3 start to pull away, and the 27 of Victor Lugo. Bad night gets worse. After starting on the front row of this race, he's now going to go 2 laps down. That's very unfortunate. Been in the league for a while, been in the Cup Series for a number of years now, and he's had, his first race in the Cup Series, he won it. It was at Daytona, old Daytona, in the Gen 4 cars, and he's been chasing that ever since. He ran an incredible race that season, and just hasn't had a good string of luck. Ran good, had quite a few top 5s, but still chasing that high of that win at Daytona, and I think it's coming soon. It's not over tonight. 2 laps down. It's not good, but it ain't over. So I'll be rooting for him. Back up front, top 3 have actually pulled away. Off the back bumper of the 3rd place car, Blake Giglio. The pack is all the way back there. They were fighting each other so hard that the top 3 managed to pull a gap. And with 3 cars, it might actually be feasible that they could hold this gap. Especially if this second pack, this second group, continues to fight each other like this. The more they fight, the more time they're going to lose. Now they're 2.4 seconds back. So, start-finish line camera. There's the leaders. And there's the rest of the field. Three-second gap now. Just continuing to grow. 26 DG Swiss now behind the 76. We'll see if they can start getting something going. They got an entire group of cars here. On paper, they should have way more speed than the top 3. But this group continues to fight each other. Now the 18 goes to the outside of the 26. Got help from the 32 of Wolfenbarger. 32, by far been the most dominant car this season. Got 3 wins. He's leading the points by a ridiculous amount. His worst finish is in 8th place at Daytona to start the season. That 32 is the one you want to see pushing you. And here we go. They are starting to reel in those leaders. He is all over the back bumper of that 18. Calling out over the radio. He's got 2 laps of fuel left. 2 laps of fuel left. Davis Greenwell calls out over the radio. It sounds like they're pitting next time by. So they're not going to make it in one stop. And it looks like we had some pits right here. Zachary Lance and a whole fleet of other cars. Let's bring it up on the ticker at the bottom. Zachary Lance, Hayden Lowell, Jesse Jones. Jeff Price, Nolan Walker, Ethan Evers, all coming down right here. And it sounds like we'll see the 20, 51, and 16 come in this time. They're going to try to stick together. Here they come. The top 3 all coming in together. And the rest of the field as well. They're 5, 6 wide coming into the pit boxes. Now they bring it back down to 3. They all fanned out, trying to make sure they didn't hit each other, and that can get even scarier than just pitting normally. So, first one we should see out of the box is the 16. Possibly the 20. Yep, it's going to be the 20. DG Swiss picks up a speeding penalty. Oh man, that's our second penalty of the night. The 26 and 27 so far are penalties tonight. Leaders right now, Dalton Hayes, Trenton Sneed, Andrew Beach. Now they come down this time. So 35 laps to the end for them. I don't think that's going to be feasible. Those were our last cars that needed a pit. So everybody has come down pit road now. And once the 20 and the 51 come back around, everything will have cycled out. Like Giglio fell a little bit back from the 51 and 20. Logan Wilson took 2 tires and allowed him to close up to these 3 leaders. Everybody else behind, looks like they all took 4 tires. We're at the minimum full tank of fuel. Took almost as much as 4 tires, so could have just seen that 76 saving gas, and that's why his pit stop was shorter. Not sure at the moment. Now we see the 20 cycles back to the lead, and the caution is out. See what it was for. I think it's going to be the 55. I think he's out of gas. He was out of gas. I don't think they fueled him. That is bizarre. I don't think he got his car fueled. He missed his pit box and couldn't drive it all the way back around. Car ran out of gas. And looks like he just got slow enough where the caution came out. So, that one's gonna definitely be on him. Wow, our first caution of the race is gonna come out at just about halfway due to a car running out of gas. And this is where all hell breaks loose. I can't believe that. Our first caution of the night. Oh, man. You're going to see some cars come down and take top off on fuel, I'm sure, right here. Leaders don't, actually. But I think depending on how much you can save, I think there is definitely a possibility where you can make it to the end of this race without stopping again. I think it's a no-brainer to come down and top off on fuel here. But like 15, 20 cars staying out, so about a split decision amongst the field. You want track position or do you want fuel? That's the question. So I take it back. It looks like only the top 13 stay out. Everybody else came down for at least gas. All right, let's see if we can talk to our leader, Davis Greenwell. Hey Davis, it's Lucas. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Hey man, well, went green for the first 32 laps of this race. We get a caution for a car out of gas, and that's going to close everybody back up to you guys. How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling good. All I gotta let y'all know is that top 3 had a little bit of Copenhagen natural extra long cut in their lip. And that's how we damn run off on a pack.
Yeah, it looked pretty aerodynamic out there. You guys made 3 cars work with that 20 leading. How'd you do it?
Man, I give it up to that 51, that 16. Somehow they got a little bit of Hagen in their airbox or something. Pushing a little more horsepower, you know.
Yeah, alright, well, good luck. Hopefully we're talking to you at the end. You ran good so far.
Thank you, sir.
So is Davis Greenwell in the 20? Could be coming to one to green right here. Like the 20 is going to take the top. Go green just past halfway. 31 laps to go in this race. Also, just want to clarify that it's not just past halfway. This race is 75 laps. Not 70. So we're going to be going green a little bit before halfway. Halfway is going to be the 38, roughly. Sorry about that. And if anybody's confused, we don't have stage points in this league, because apparently some of the drivers in Week 10 were also confused about that just now, so keep that in mind. We only pay points at the end of the race and for lead laps. Alright, Davis Greenwell in control of the restart. Outside car. And green flag back in the air. (20, 51, and 16, leading the race once again. A keep in mind, I mentioned 13 cars stayed out right here, so they're going to be not in a very good spot for fuel. And everybody else came down to take at least gas, try to make it to the end without stopping again. I think that was the good call. Lose a little bit of track position, maybe not have to stop again this race. Just got to do a little bit of fuel saving. But I don't think they're gonna save that much. But what you do gain, even if this goes green, what you do gain by pitting again and taking gas is you can take less gas on this green flag pit stop if it comes to that. And it could be a difference of 2 or 2.5 seconds with how many laps they ran before the caution came out. So 2.5 seconds could be the difference between you winning this race. But taking that extra gas means shorter pit stop on the next stop, even if they don't get the cautions they need to make it to the end of this race. However, on the other hand, these guys up front have their track position, and with 44 cars out here, track position is fairly important. Car that was the reason for the caution, Jesse Jones, who ran out of gas, he only went 2 laps down, so I think he made it to pit road with some help from the 94. So good Samaritan right there. Pushed the 55 back to his box, and he was able to get out 2 laps down. Him and Victor Lugo are on the same lap, both 2 laps down. Lucky dog position right now. The 40 is ex-Weissgood. Ethan Evers also 1 lap down, as well as the 91 of Jeremy Sherritt. So those 3 fighting for the lucky dog. 39 cars on the lead lap, and 30 in the main pack. Some cloud cover over here, over Talladega right here. 97 and Dave Boitsma got some help from his teammates. 88 of Quinn Newton. He's going to try to make that 3rd lane work again. It worked earlier in the race. This time not getting the help he had before. Oh, the 76 Logan Wilson goes around the 47 of Dalton Hayes, and they're wrecking on the front stretch. Huge wreck. Well, that'll be our 2nd caution of the race. This one, you know, definitely going to involve some cars this time around. So that one started around the 76 and just snowballed from there. Let's back it up. So looking at the 76 and the 47, checked up. 47 and 81 didn't have time to slow the car down and just checked up into each other, and well, there you go. They just kept going. Back it up again. We'll slow it down a little bit this time. So you're gonna see 51 and 20 are pushing pretty hard. The 16 and the 71 then get in there. 20 gets loose, forces the 71 to check up. 76 has to check up. 47 can't check up as the 81's up his bumper. Then the 47 just kind of gets hooked off the 81, up into the 41, up into, I couldn't tell what car that was. I think it was a 68. And just everybody's piling in. There's nowhere to go. It's Talladega. Big wreck in the tri-oval. Oh, man. Right on board with somebody a little farther back. Let's look at the 56, Peyton Lowell. Now it's starting to wash up the track, and there's just nowhere for him to go. Nowhere for anybody to go in this, I don't think. You got a car washing up the racetrack in the middle of the tri-oval. There's 40 cars There's really nowhere to go. You just gotta pray. Wow. That's gonna take quite a few cars out. 56 ended up having to tow it. 76 is on pit road fixing damage. 18 of Frisbee, 23 of Llewellyn, 33 of Trego, 50 of Ryan File. He got heavy damage. He's got a meatball. The 10 of Wyatt McCombs also has a meatball flag, so he's out. 56, obviously, hard contact. We rode on board with him. He's got a meatball flag. Yeah, 47, he's also, I mean, everybody's on pit road who got hard contact in that, and that's going to have a lot of playoff implications tonight. There were a lot of cars below the cut line who just got involved in that. There were a lot of cars above the cut line who got involved in this as well. Bring up our points. Just saw, I mean, the 92 of Patrick O'Keefe, that is absolutely heartbreaking. He only had 21 points over the cut line. That was Nick Leo. And he is on pit road fixing damage. That car, I don't know if it's killed or not. Trying to find him. There he is. He's still on pit road fixing damage. He is rolling. So the car is not completely immobile. So if he can get out here and hang on to some position, maybe he has a car that can stay with the draft. It's not over for him tonight, but he's got a long road ahead of him. Gonna be going green with 35 laps to go. Somebody who's going to capitalize on this a lot. Nick Leo did not get involved in that. He needs points badly, and he's going to get them right here. He's up in 12th right now. But again, long way to go in this race. You're now past halfway. You're going green. 34 laps to go. Davis Greenwell going to be in control. He elects to take the bottom this time, it looks like. Corey, nice job missing that. That 15th spot right now. Alright, their way back to our finish line. Pace truck gonna pull off. We'll get this race restarted again after our second caution of the night. Shortly followed our first caution. Hope that isn't a tale of what's to come. Green flag back in the air. Davis Greenwell with a good restart. Pushes from the 32 of Garrett Wolfenbarger. It's going to push that 20 out front. I don't know why we're being told the green flag is out 30 seconds after, but there you go. If you wanted to know again, there you have it. Bradley Wilson got the 07 of Alec Payne on his back bumper. Now he's going to drop down in front of the 16 of Giglio. The 07 going to side draft the crap out of that 16, try to keep him back and fill that gap in front of him. That's the game you got to play here. You got to get just enough of a run on that outside where you can pull somebody back and then take that gap in front of them. Unless you got a really good pusher on the outside, then in that case, you can make it work. 16 and 51, we've seen them. They've been working together really well all night. We'll see if they pick up the 20 once again. Those three were able to pull away from the rest of the field earlier in the race. Looks like pack is separated again around 30th. Ronnie Holmes, the leader of this second pack, in 29th. So here comes the main pack. And 3 seconds later. So 41 cars still in the race. 3 cars have, not sure if they've DNF'd yet or if they're fixing damage. But 3 cars are not on track fixing. Is the 10 of Wyatt McCombs and the 50 of Ryan File. Looks like the 56 has pulled it behind the wall. Of Greenwell, he's led a lot of laps now. We'll bring up our most laps led on the tower. 21 of Greenwell led 21 laps of our 45 so far. That's, I think, going to be way better than anybody else so far, and that'll net him another 5 bonus points if he can complete that most laps led. Wolfenbarger jumps out. He's going to jump out in front of his teammate, Bradley Wilson. No Shenandoah Shine car is going to push ahead in that outside lane. Now they're going to drop down in front of the 20 and the 16. Going to be all alone up there. But now he's going to get a good shove from the 13 of Christian Delgado. Those two going to try to work together to keep that outside lane going. Oh, they get a little, they get out of shape. 13's going to move up and just... The 44, I think, stuck his nose in there, and the 13 just didn't want to take the chance. He's going to drop out. At this point in the race, still got 30 to go. Not a risk you want to take. 22 of Michael Christopher, pole sitter, to jump out in front of the 16. They're going to drop down all 3 of those cars. Try to make up time on the top 5 now. Those 3 are moving. On board with the 22. Gonna take that run and go to the outside. Christopher gonna surge ahead at the line and back to the lead. Blake Giglio has seemed to be one of those cars you want on your back bumper all night. And Christopher actually gonna jump down and leave him. I'm assuming just gonna allow the 16 to get some clean air. But that's gonna allow them to surge ahead off turn 2, and the 44 and 16 now gonna drop down to the bottom lane. And Blake Giglio out front once again. This pack is starting to really spread out. So 23 cars, 24. on the lead lap. Not on the lead lap, in the lead pack. Then you look back at 20, I guess it's 23rd. My ticker keeps going back and forth. I think somebody's blinking up front. 23rd on back, all the way back to 33rd in this secondary pack, and then just a bunch of cars spread out from there on. 21 of Jacob Boyd just limping that broken car around. See if we can find the 92 of O'Keefe. Want to make sure he's up in 20th, so he's actually okay. So they broke off from the main pack now. Jeez Louise. But now 19 cars in the main pack, led by Garrett Wolfenbarger. 16 going to jump out once again in front of the 12 who's on the top lane. These guys are shuffling positions back and forth up front. 26 laps to go. The word from chat, 56 has been forced to retire due to damage. Take a look at those points. Pretty close to that cut line. Definitely going to be hoping for some of his competitors to have some bad luck as well. It's Talladega, totally possible. That's why there's going to be a huge mix-up in the end of this race when it comes to points. Like Giglio going to lead at 25 to go. Top 5, Giglio, Wolfenbarger, Deal, Christopher, and Wilson. Everybody else is too wide behind that. The outside lane starts to fade. Alright, well, they're kind of single file, not much going on. Okay, no, never mind, I take it back. They're going to go 3 wide, have to leave the 12 out. Now the 26 and the 68 are stuck on the top lane. They're going to get cycled back now. Looks like the 2051 jump up to the top. 22 thought about it. Not going to complete that though. And the way things are looking right now, you're going to have to pit again this race. I think with how long we've gone green, we'd have to finish with a bunch of cautions for anybody to have any chance at making it to the end without coming down pit road again. So I would be one to say I think you should come down relatively soon. I think it's time to make that pit stop. Make sure you get in there before anybody else can. Get out of the way. You know, number one, you could go faster and make up time on these guys, and number two, you take yourself out of the scary parts of this race, and that's other people. You get down there, you bring your teammates with you, you just bring people you know are good and not wrecking, and you come out by yourselves and you set yourself up for a good spot to not crash at the end of this race or before you even get a chance to race for that win. So I think some of these bigger teams especially should start thinking about maybe making an early pit stop and getting down there before anybody else can. The problem with that, though, is that guys like Ronnie Holmes, everybody behind him, they're now 6 seconds behind the leaders, which means that they come down pit road now, there's a decent chance they come out a lap down. And that is definitely not what you want. You got to make sure if you do that, you stay on the lead lap through the entire time, because if you go a lap down, there's a good chance you never get that back. They're too wide for the lead now, coming up on some lap cars. 76, 77, and 41. They're going to split the pack. Oh, geez, that was scary. All right, so all 3 lap cars do go to the top lane. $16, go, gonna leave the 20 out. Now the 16 and 51 gonna surge ahead on the backstretch. These guys are not content riding in line, which is great for us. It's really entertaining, and they're not doing it in a dirty way or anything. They're being really clean about this. They're racing each other with respect. It's good to see. Really enjoyed the racing so far. I hope everybody at home is enjoying it as well. Bradley Wilson and Nick Cooper push that outside lane ahead into turn 1. Now the bottom lane, the 16 and 20, generate another run. They're going to pull the bottom lane ahead. That 20 is all over the back bumper of the 16. Now the 32 is going to jump up in front of the 51. The 20 is going to go up with them. Dead even heading into turn 3. Now the 20 is going to get an advantage. Does he drop down? Not quite clear. Less than 20 to go. Third lane formed up. 04 in the 7. Those 2 wanted. Oh, jeez. Oh, there's 2 cars making it work up there. The Wannagoons cars. They got to clear now if they're gonna. Almost there. They almost got it. And I think they did. So the 7 and 04 with 2 cars. Just. Oh, the 7 leaves the 04 out. Oh, man. They did not communicate well on that one. They did a great job driving up through the field, and the 04 got a little bit of front end damage, but just did not cut down in front as soon as I think the 7 wanted to, and 7 unfortunately had to leave him out, take the run they had. But either way, Brad Patton goes from last to first in this pack. We are now down to, we're still at 19 cars in the lead pack. Guys in 20th back to 27th. Still losing time on the main guys. Jeff Price, Zach Swicegood working together 28th to 29th. Brian Martin all by himself in 30th. Jeremy Scherer, Daniel Wallen, Jesse Jones, Kenny Frisbee all working together right here. And then cars that are lapped are also in the main pack, trying to hope for a caution to come out. It looks like we've lost some cars under green. We had a wreck 7 laps ago. Let's take a look at this. We had a wreck 7 laps ago at the tail end of the lead pack. So a checkup into turn 1. Oh man, how was that not a caution? Just destroyed the 81 of Trenton Sneed. Oh wow. That just took Trenton completely out of this race. He was just riding in the back, staying out of trouble, and trouble found him. Horrible luck there. Coming to 15 to go. 22, Mike Christopher, he's going to dive down pit road. And he's going to have Low Drag Esports teammates come with him. Iglio, Deal, and Hoytsma all coming down with Christopher. He's got to make sure they don't slide through the boxes here. Oh, the 22 does slide through the box. That's going to hurt him on pit exit. Probably going to mean he's going to lose those 3 teammates of his. Davis Greenwell still out front. Oh, you guys gonna come off. Might have checked up a little bit for the 22. 22 was 3 seconds slower on his pit stop than the others, so they're definitely checking up for him. They're gonna have to hope they can make that time up right here. Top 5, Greenwell, Wilson, Graves, Cooper, and Patton. Kenny Frisbee about to go a lap down. That 18 has a lot of damage. Surprised it took this long. 55, Jesse Jones. Looks like he picked up a pit road penalty. He had to come back down. Davis Greenwell still out ahead of this thing. These guys just riding in line. Not saving gas, I can tell you that, because they're not making it. But they could be saving just to shorten their pit stop. I doubt it, I really do. I think they're just riding in line trying to make up as much speed as possible to make sure they stay out ahead when they do end up pitting. They're still running pretty good lap times as they put in a 49.6 that time by, which is close to their best of the race. So they're definitely pushing hard. No fuel saving, at least for the front 4 or 5 cars to be putting in that lap time. But you can see, I mean, the guys toward the back definitely leaving a little bit more of a gap than you would think if they were driving hard. So definitely could be seeing some fuel saving toward the tail end of this lead pack. Try to get some track position. It's all going to be about how little fuel you can put in on your pit stop here. And you got to get in as quickly and as efficiently as possible. Can't spin the tires, can't lock them up. Can't give up any time on pit entry or pit exit or getting into your box. Everything has to be smooth. Every 1/10 of a second counts here. It can be the difference between 1st and 10th. What happened to the 88? Like, I see something on lap 47. We'll take a look at it. This was shortly after we restarted back on lap 41. Oh man, the 24 Jamal Collins. There you go. That's what happened in 88. One more time. 24 and 94 get together. Down into the 88 machine of Quinn Newton. That gave a lot more damage than I figured it would have. Ten laps to go here at Talladega. 2 cautions so far tonight. We've been under green for 25 laps since our last caution. Cautions, 13 lead changes, 8 different leaders. 60 of our 65 completed laps have been under green. Weather right now, toasty 83 degrees, 10-mile-an-hour winds. Doesn't really matter at Talladega, but I figured I'd mention it once in the broadcast, as they are just single file up front. Battle for the lucky dog position. Not much going on there. The 8 of Evers has it pretty well locked up right now. However, the 22 of Michael Christopher all the way back to the 23 of Daniel Llewellyn. Guys are all trying to make up time. 23 Llewellyn has yet to pit, but the other 4 in this pack are trying to make up time under green before the others have to pit, because they will have to come down. And I'm willing to bet they have to pit in the next 3 laps. So we're going to be looking for that 20, 51, everybody else in this pack really. I think maybe the guys toward the tail end will have enough to maybe go a lap or 2 more. But nowhere near making it to the end of this race. They did not get the cautions they needed to make it to the end. Really would have only been about 3 or 4 cautions during this run to make them good to the end, but somehow we went green at Talladega. These guys, they put on the worst show I've ever seen at Richmond, and they just give us a lot of green flag racing tonight. I love it. Awesome. We got pit stops for the leaders now, as some lap cars pit right in front of them. So that's going to get interesting. Casey Graves speeds on pit road. So does the 23 of Llewellyn who pit with him. Oh no, that is a killer right there. The 01 picks up a speeding penalty. That is going to be something that's going to be hard to battle back from this late in the race. He's going to need a caution to get a lucky dog, I'm assuming. Davis Greenwell, Bradley Wilson, Dalton Hayes going to come off pit road top 3. Those cars that pit 9 laps ago, I don't know if they're even going to catch up to this pack. I don't think they are. They really got to get moving here. They're 1.5 seconds back. They're almost there. They're going to pick up, looks like the 69 and the 07. They got a little bit to go. Oh no, the top 6 have pulled away. These guys that pit early on in the race, that mistake looks like is going to cost them. They were not able to make up that time under green. Lead guys were just going really quick, and that's just not something you can contend with. So the top 6 have broken away from the rest of the field. You got 7th through 10th right here, and 11th through 16th. For some reason they're 3 wide for 14th right now. Somebody's got a lift right here, boys. Nobody's gonna lift. Every point matters. So they're just going to maintain 3 wide. Here's the pack. 07 jumps up. Okay. That was weird. Alright, we're coming to 5 to go. We saw this exact same top 2 at the conclusion of last season, even down to the paint schemes. It is actually kind of crazy. Now the 20 is a little bit different. He's got a black paint scheme. Different Copenhagen flavor than the last one, but either way, the 20 and the 51 at Talladega seems to be an unstoppable force right now. There you have it, the 01 of Casey Graves. Gonna go 1 lap down. And he, as long as he stays with this pack, he'll have the lucky dog position. It's gonna be tough hanging with these guys. They're moving really quick right now. Gotta pick them up right now, and I don't think it's gonna happen. Oh, man. So Casey Graves not going to be able to stick with that lead pack, and now he's going to have to fight with the 91 of Jeremy Scherer. Stay on the lead lap. Or not on the lead lap, because keeping the lucky dog position in case a caution comes out in the next 3 laps. Coming to 3 to go. So I will put up our points going into tonight's race up on the right side of the screen. See the drivers that need a good night. Casey Graves just needed a decent night. And now he's going to be on the hot seat after that speeding penalty. Same with Patrick O'Keefe. Got involved in the wreck earlier, and he is running 21st right now, which is, you know, not horrible. Definitely a great job rebounding. But not ideal. Nick Leo needed a good night, and right now 13th. He seems to be doing just that. 13th. Pretty good, especially compared to his competitors who are not having great nights. Brian Martin back in 31st, 1 lap down right now, so that is not ideal for him. Didn't mean to click that, sorry about that. So there's your points. 2 laps to go. I can tell you right now, I don't think that 51 is going to be okay with riding in line this time. He already gave Davis that win last year. He didn't pull out on him in time. And I don't think he's going to do the same thing this time around. I think Bradley, this is how I'd be feeling. I think this is his time to make that pass for the win. White flag this time by. Do they make it there? Lap car going to be up ahead. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go here at Talladega. Only 2 cautions tonight. Absolutely insane. 51. He's backing off. I don't think he's going to make that move yet. He's got to make it super late. Got to make sure nobody else has a chance at it. Down the backstretch for the final time tonight. 8 cars going to move out of the way. Greenwell in the lead. Bradley Wilson second. Dalton Hayes third. Nick Cooper fourth. Brad Patton fifth. This is where Bradley's going to make the move. Start of the tri-oval is where you want to do it. Going to get on his bumper right here. He's going to shadow over to the right, entering the tri-oval. Maybe not. He hasn't made the move yet. He's not going to make it. He's going to push Davis there again. Davis Greenwell back to back at Talladega. Dalton Hayes third. Obviously Bradley Wilson second. 3 wide there for I don't know what place that was. Nick Cooper fourth. And Brad Patton fifth. Top 5. What a weird race. 2 cautions at Talladega. And we couldn't go green at California. I don't know. What are these people? Wow. Last few cars going to cross the line. Davis Greenwell, winner once again at Talladega. Second career win in the CTC Cup Series, and both have come in the cutoff race at Talladega. Alright, get a word with our winner. Davis, it's Lucas. You got me, man?
Yes, sir.
Well, you're burning that thing down. That 20 car is back in victory lane once again at Talladega. How did you convince Bradley to do it again?
I don't know, man. I said I'll give you some of that Hagen, son. He's like, shit.
All right, man. I don't know. That was like, I think you led the most laps tonight. I mean, you almost Dale Earnhardt dominated
Yeah.
tonight.
Max points weekend seems like, yeah. Just gotta hope it's enough for playoffs. Who knows?
Yeah, we're gonna be going over that shortly here. Man, that was you knew what you needed to do tonight, and you definitely got it done. Like you said, max points, 190 it should be. I think you led the most laps. I don't know how you couldn't. You led so many tonight. Just nice job, man. You got anybody you want to shout out for the win here at Talladega?
Yeah, obviously gotta shout my day one, B-Dub Wilson right there, and new sponsor for the team, Copenhagen Natural Extra Long Cut, and 712Breaks, Low Drag, Esports, you know the rest. That's how we do.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you talking to us. Congrats on that win. Go celebrate with the team.
Thanks, sir.
Davis Greenwald finishing in victory lane tonight. Now let's get a word with our second place finisher. Now let's get... We got Dalton Hayes in the booth. Let's talk to him. Dalton, it's Lucas. You got me?
Yes, sir, I got you.
Hey, man. Well, taking home a third tonight. Nice podium finish for you. Definitely a good night overall for you. But just those two up front didn't make a move on each other. You didn't have a chance. Walk us through your night.
Yeah, I just tried to kind of ride most of the race and then got caught up in a checkup in the middle of the race. Luckily, was able to fix all the damage, and then it got a little wild there coming back up through the field. There was a couple times where my heart kind of sank, and I was like, "Oh shit, we're dead." But we made it through it, and then that last pit stop, I was just waiting for everyone to pit, and I seen that they started to go on pit entry off of 4, so I pit with them. And then we broke down to like a 6-car pack because I think a couple of cars had a little bit of trouble exiting the pits. So I was just kind of riding because I was stuck in between Shine and One at Goons, and I really didn't think any of them would work with me. So I was just kind of waiting for someone to make a move and then for me to either go with them or suck back up to Davis. But unfortunately, no one really made a move. So I just got third, and I guess I'm happy with that.
Absolutely, man. Podium finish in this big of a field, and it went almost completely green. I mean, 2 cautions. That had to have been a weird race for you, man. But I don't know. You got anybody you want to shout out for the podium finish?
Yeah, shout out to 712Breaks, of course, for being the sponsor and everything that they do. Shout out to you for running CTC, excuse me, stuttering, and C2X and all the boys back there for allowing me to race with them this season.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate you talking to us. Congrats on the third. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, sir. Have a good night.
That was Dalton Hayes. Now let's get a word with our second place finisher, Bradley Wilson. Bradley, you have been the manufacturer of 2 anticlimactic Talladega finishes. What do you have to say for yourself?
I don't know. I seen the same car I pushed last time, and I was like, screw it, let's just do it again.
Fair enough. I mean, props to you. And Davis, I'm going to go over points in a second, but man, I cannot believe what just happened in terms of the cutoff line. But you did everything you could. He almost got in there, and you still got a nice second place finish to end your regular season. How are we feeling?
Feeling really good. Wish Davis could have been 3 more points higher. So that could it could have been really nice to somehow get him in with that win. But I don't know. Shout out the field. We had good green flag runs. A couple wrecks. Sadly, that one wreck came out. Me, Davis, and Blake were just gone. But yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, man, I couldn't believe you guys did that. That was, if it had gone green, I don't know. I don't think they had a chance of catching you 3. You guys were flying. But, yeah, it was still awesome to see. Can't believe we only had 2 cautions, and you take home a nice second place to end your regular season. You got anybody you want to shout out for it?
Shout out Davis, Garrett Wolfenbarger, Casey Graves, Nick Cooper, Kane, Ryan File for coming out racing with us as True Shine. You for putting us on, dealing with a lot of behind the scenes shit. Everyone for racing. We had a really, really fun time. And everyone for watching at home.
Man, appreciate you talking to us. Congrats on the second. We'll see you next week for the start of the chase.
All right, thank you, sir.
That was Bradley Wilson taking home second tonight. Now we'll go through our results, and we'll go over our Chase 12 in just a moment. Go through our final race results really quick. Any moment now. There we go. Davis Greenwell taking home the win once again at Talladega. I still cannot believe he went back-to-back at this racetrack. The hardest racetrack to win back-to-back at, he did it. So props to him. Incredible work. Bradley Wilson, again, props to him for pushing him both times. And Dalton Hayes taking home a podium. A good finish for him there after a rough season. Nick Cooper with a 4th. Brad Patton 5th. Garrett Warren 6th. My goodness. Garrett Wolfenbarger 7th, Harry Grudell 8th, DG Swiss 9th, Michael Christopher 10th, Blake Giglio 11th, Corey Deal 12th, Dave Hoytsma 13th, Nick Leo 14th, Alec Kane 15th, Andrew Beach 16th, Patrick O'Keefe in 17th, Ronnie Holmes 18th, Towell Owen 19th, Christian Delgado 20th, Jake Lawrence 21st, Dakota Lee 22nd, Trevor Trago 23rd, Samuel Litchfield 24th, Zachary Lance 25th, Jeff Price 26th, Zach Swicegood 27th, Ethan Evers 28th, Casey Graves in 29th, Jeremy Scherer top 30, Brian Martin 31st, Victor Lugo 32nd, Kenny Frisbee 33rd, Daniel Long 34th, Nolan Walker 35th, Jesse Jones 36th, Jacob Boyd Jr. 37th, Logan Wilson 38th, Trenton Sneed 39th, Quinn Newton 40th, Jamal Collins 41st, Hayden Lowell 42nd, Wyatt McCombs 43rd, and rounding out our 44 finishers, Ryan File in 44th. Alrighty. Give me just a moment. It's going to be kind of hard to read, but we're going to do our best here. All right. To give our unofficial, official. They're unofficial right now in case there's any penalties or anything. But these are officially from SimRacer Hub before penalties are handed out. Unless there's any issues post-race we need handed out. But here we go. As soon as I can get it up, I promise I'm not drawing this out. There's your unofficial, official point standings at the end of the regular season. Top 12 make it into the chase next week. And take a look at 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th. Unbelievable. Nick Leo misses the chase by 2 points. Davis Greenwell, who won tonight, maxed out as many points as you can get in a race, missed the playoffs, the chase, by 3 points, along with Brian Martin, who tied Davis 3 points behind Casey Graves, who barely, ahead of 3 different people within 3 points of him, is able to make it into the top 12 and race in the chase to end the season. Unbelievable. Brad Patton as well. Only 2 points ahead of Casey. Patrick O'Keefe, he held on. He raced the rest of the race, and he managed to hold on to 10th. Again, only 15 points ahead of Casey. And Hayden Lowell, who wrecked early on in that big wreck in the tri-oval, he doesn't get in by much either. So Talladega definitely tried to screw some people, and it screwed some for sure. And it almost got Davis Greenwell into the chase in the final race, but he's just going to miss it. So sorry to Davis and everybody else missing it. I hope you all enjoyed tonight. It was a really entertaining race here at Talladega, and we will see you all next week for the start of the chase. We'll be at Darlington Raceway, so don't miss that. It's going to be an exciting one. Right now, I'm Lucas Hoytsma. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week at Darlington.